Hello, my name is Michael Harden, and I'm a worship leader at Recovery Church Lake Worth and Recovery Church Delray, um, which is a miracle because 2 years ago I was homeless and battling drug addiction. I was just out of jail and going into rehab for the first time. When I came out of rehab, I was still struggling with the same insecurities that I had struggled with my whole life. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere, and I felt like God had a calling on my life, but at the same time I thought I had already failed him and didn't live up to the calling. And I was afraid to come back to church because I just really didn't feel like I was worthy. I didn't really feel like, I was the type of person that he would use going forward. I felt like I was too far gone. But God blessed me, and as soon as as soon as the restrictions were lifted from COVID and the quarantine, I've heard about a place called Recovery Church, and I was in recovery and I wanted to go back to church, and it just ended up being the perfect marriage. As soon as I walked through the door, I walked through the door with the same things that were going through my mind the first time I walked through church as an addict. And the first voice I heard was the voice of Kentucky Dave. And Kentucky Dave walked up to me and he called me brother. And if you saw Kentucky Dave, him walking up to me, calling me brother, was almost like, Ebony. It's completely and totally Ebony and Ivory, but it's more like Oscar and Felix, two complete mismatches. But I felt his love and I felt him reaching out. And from that moment forward, I've always felt at home here. I'm a person who dealt with a lot of church hurt. I was in ministry for 18 years. And after 18 years in ministry, I fell off because of things that happened in ministry. I'm also a person who's dealt with rejection. I was given up for adoption by my blood mother, and I was adopted by a person who, after 10 years, once again gave up on me and put me back in foster care. And all of my years of trying to fit in church, I always felt like somebody was going to give up on me. But I realize now, for the first time in my life, that I serve a God who has never, nor will ever, give up on me. And he's always been there for me, just waiting for me to come to him. And one of the things that God's blessed me to do is he's blessed me to get involved in the music ministry and in songwriting. And God blessed me and gave me a song concerning my testimony that I hope will relate to, that you'll be able to relate to. And it goes like this, if you don't mind. It says, I've tried for so long to fix myself on my own. I tried to stand on my own 2 feet, but life kept knocking me down to my knees. And that's where I was when I ran out of options, and in desperation lifted up my voice. Here's my life, I give it back to you, to do what only you can do. Let your light shine through and lead me into victory, 'cause you can set this captive free. Lord, please accept my offering. That's just the first verse, but I hope that that maybe touched a spot in your heart or ministered to maybe something that you've gone through and allowed you to realize that there is a God who loves you. And even though we've tried it on our own, there is a way. And Jesus Christ stood and said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. By me, if any man will enter in. And